Some people say, yeah, I don't have to drink to have a good time. You go, okay, but that means you have to have a good time to have a good time. How do you pull that off? You just assume the universe knows it's your Friday, so some organic good time will swell out of the woodwork and appear at a certain time. You read the weekly and find the editor's best bet, and you email all your dumb friends in their cubicles. Let's meet up. We found a local eatery that's well reviewed. It has vegan options for Sheila. We'll meet there at 7:40. Where is Sheila? She's late. Our sober good time starts in 40 minutes. Call her on her cell phone. Maybe we can order for her because we don't want to be late for our sober good time. Maybe you came here tonight to have a good time without drinking. That means you're solely reliant on me being funny, which is a 50-50 shot at best in these waning years of my career. If I suck, you're fucked. All that sober good time planning and the map questing and the finding the parking, and then I was off. I was too fucked up that night, and now the blame's on you. I don't take those chances. I drink to have a good time. It's a fail-safe. I take whatever mundane shit I was doing anyway, and I just start pouring booze on top of it. And within a short amount of time, it's fantastic. I'm talking to some shingle salesman in an airport bar, and he's showing me pictures of his dogs on his cell phone camera, and that's Miss Patsy, and this is Patriot. I call him Patriot because I got him at 9/11, and then within 5 drinks, that guy's hilarious to me. I'm hugging that guy on the way to his gate. I'm swapping phone numbers. I have a problem? No, lady. I have a solution. You have a problem with your sober good time. I'll feel like shit in the morning, but I'll know exactly why, because I got hammered. You wake up, you feel like shit, you worry. Oh, did I forget to take my omega-3s? My glands are swollen. Did I touch a toilet handle without sanitizing? I'm not sure exactly. Oh, you should have been drunk. And you just wake up and go, oh, fuck. It'll go away by the afternoon. I did stop drinking Jägermeister as though it were some like miraculous life choice. I bragged to people when I stopped drinking Jägermeister. Like I'm doing Bikram yoga now and eating tofu. I'm still hammered all the time, but it's not Jaeger, which is just a shitty drink. At some point, I saw a clip of myself on stage yelling at the bar, hey, can I get a shot of Jägermeister? But I could see me. Like, in my head, I'm young. But then I saw I'm just an old fucking dude, and just the word Jägermeister coming out of your mouth is some desperate cry to be young again. And it's like the old guy is a silver-haired fox, but he still has 2 hoop earrings. And he's like, hey, ladies, like, oh, don't be that fucking dude. Just drink something clear. Because, Jake LaMotta, the fighter, is a neighbor of ours in Bisbee, Arizona. He lives 2 blocks down. If you don't know Jake LaMotta, he was a fighter, a legendary fighter. The movie Raging Bull, yes, no, yeah? Robert De Niro. For you 22-year-olds, let me explain. Robert De Niro used to be an actor. In the moving pictures, one of his greatest roles was that playing Jake LaMotta in Raging Bull. It was a real guy that's our neighbor, and we never met him till last year. A mutual friend brought him to the house to watch football, and we're wicked excited. Like, fucking Jake LaMotta's coming here. And they brought him over. He's like 91. There's no Jake LaMotta left of the Jake LaMotta. So we're all like happy, and they bring him in, and we're like, oh. Like, for a boxer, my age, they're fucked up, and he's twice that. So they bring him in, like he's fucking up. They have him by one elbow, 91 years old, and they plop it on the couch like an eggplant. And we're like, hey, Jake LaMotta's here. And he's got a trophy wife who's 30 years his junior, which means she's still in her 60s. So the trophy is a bit tarnished at this point. It's no Stanley Cup anymore. It's more of a bowling trophy. And she's a very sweet woman. She has all the characteristics of trophy wife. She has bleach blonde hair, and the 60-year-old tit job is forced up so the good parts are showing through the top. And you go, okay, and she's very sweet, and she's trying to distract from... Jake LaMotta doesn't know where he is. He doesn't know he's watching football. He's confused on the couch. The only time he showed any cognitive recognition of his surroundings, I saw him scrambling with his cigarettes and fumbling and looking to the door like, who will walk me out so I can smoke? And I said, it's okay, Jake. You can smoke in the house. And he went, That's how fucking deep cigarettes get you. Nothing else. He said, Then straight back to confusion. So his wife is very sweet, and she's talking to me and Bingo. I can't believe we've lived here so long and we've never met, and it's so nice. And at some point she says, you know, Jake and I are doing a play on Saturday night at the Central School in Old Bisbee. We'd love it if you come. I wrote it myself, she says. Oh, really? All by your little lonely. That fucking half cadaver on my couch didn't chime in with some of his great ideas for how the script should be written for the arc of the story. And normally you would have to stun gun me, cattle prod me to get me into a play. I'm not interested until I spend an hour and a half with Jake LaMotta at my house. That's gonna be live on stage. I'm not missing this for the world. And we went, and it lived up to every awful expectation that we had. It was so tragic. She wrote it herself. It's called Lady and the Champ. And she wrote it, so thank God it's mostly her, and she has an acoustic guitar, so she'll tell some stories and anecdotes, and then sing some show tune kind of things. In the corner stands a boxer and a fighter by his... And you're like, oh God. And then they plop the champ out on the other side of the stage in a chair. And they sit him down. He still has no idea where he is. He still thinks he's watching football at my house. And his only job is to pepper the script with some one-liners and some shadow boxing. So occasionally he stands up. I fought Sugar Ray so many times, I got diabetes. Which is not a bad line for a fucking 91-year-old boxer, except the champ forgets he already did the line. So moments later, he stands back up, but in the middle of a song, stop, but Sugar Ray. And they have to come out. They can't stage whisper to him because he's deaf as a stump, so they physically have to come out and push him back down in his chair and yell at him. Not yet, champ. Wait till the end of the number and then you do the, okay? All right. And we're in the back of the room fucking dying. Like it's quiet, we're having to bite our hands like children in church, trying not to giggle. It was like seeing if Mr. Schiavo brought Terry Schiavo on the road as a song and dance act. Hello, my honey. Hello, my baby. Hello, my ragtime. Thank you. Terry and I will be selling merchandise after the show. Terry will lick your t-shirts for you to personalize them as a little souvenir of the great time we had tonight here. And as much as I'm enjoying it, for all the worst reasons, there's part of my head going, all right, how long before that's you? How many? I've been doing this shit 23 years. How long? I've taken a lot of shots to the head just like the champ. How long before that final synapse in my brain burns out that would have told me, don't do this anymore. You're embarrassing yourself thoroughly. But I have my trophy wife, Bingo. She doesn't want to get a real job, so she's just shoving me out on the stage. Go get him, champ. Jägermeister. I have no fear of death, except I hate waiting for it. Just, come on. I beat cancer. I never had it. That's how I beat it. Like you survived it. I beat the fuck out of it, but by not getting it. I've courted cancer every day of my life. I have done everything but fucking pay cancer's taxi fare to my hotel. Won't show up. That's beating it. You survived it. You're like tied. I get the #1 seed in the bracket over you, survivor. I'm a winner. But there is an afterlife, and if I can give you any hope in this show, I have definitive proof of an afterlife. I didn't get weird or go religious on you. I'm not saying there's a God. I don't know what the afterlife entails. But here's the proof. My mother killed herself in 2008. Don't worry, this is a fun story. It was the best death you could ever be part of. She was dying of emphysema at 63. Her brain was still with it, but she was drowning in her own fluids. She's being permanently waterboarded by 45 years of cool milds. She can't take it anymore. We knew it was gonna happen when she made the call. I can't do it. I'm like, all right, Ma, we'll do what we can. All right, Ma's gonna kill herself. I don't know what to do. Like, that's, okay, we know it's gonna happen, but when you say we're gonna do it, I'm not gonna go buy you a fucking shotgun. Like, oh, have fun, Ma. So I don't know what to do. I don't kill people. It's not something, like, I fantasize about it. If my mother were Nancy Grace, I'd have been all over it. Like, I have plans, but my mother was a great person. So I'm like, how do we do this right? So I called my lawyer. I have 3 lawyers. We're Jewed up big with lawyers in LA for this shit, all the camera people and recording contracts. Then I have my local Bisbee attorney that helps me with, I got married when I was 20 and I had 24 years of marital bliss till I remembered, oh fuck, I never divorced that girl I drunkenly married in Vegas. That's for another DVD. But then we have our 3rd lawyer, who's a comedy fan. He's our, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Saul Goodman from Breaking Bad attorney. That he handles all the creepy shit. Like when me and Andy are up late at night doing blow and thinking of call Kirshner, see how much jail time we could we go to prison if we actually did this? He's that guy. So I called him knowing he'd hook me up with a doctor on the down low, as we say in the black community as a black person. He gave me the number to a doctor, and I go, hey, my mother's gonna cash out and I don't know what to do. He said, what do you have? I go, I got Xanax out the ass. On the border, you can get all the fucking Xanax you want. He's like, that's no good, that's anti-anxiety. Does she have hospice care? Yeah, she does. Then she should have morphine. Ma, you got morphine? Yeah, I got morphine. All right, she's got morphine. We worked out the dosages and the milligrams, and he goes, if she has 30 of those, that's enough to kill any human being on the planet. She had fucking 90. I'm like, oh, okay, we're good. Okay, we never talked, remember that. Okay, doc. So I'm like, all right, we're gonna do this. First of all, bring her to my house, because she lived in 300 square feet of hoarder paradise, old electric bills with spider webs, all cramped. Like, it's depressing enough if you're gonna help your mother kill herself, but we're gonna go to my house, we'll tidy up. So we set her up with a hospital bed in the living room, she had been AA off and on for my whole life. She had, at this point, been 4 years sober. And I'm like, you're not gonna kill yourself sober, right? You can't take those chips with you. She's like, yeah, you're right. Why would I do that? That's dumb. So she, in her heyday, she was a Black Russian drinker. So I set out a mini bottle of Kettle One and a mini bottle of Kahlua with her pills for whenever you're ready, let me know. We laid down ground rules. I said, Ma, if you're gonna kill yourself seriously, you can't do it on Sunday or Monday, because that's football. And that's a dick move. If you can call your own time to leave this planet, don't do it during someone else's planned event. Don't be an asshole. And she did it the Saturday before football. That was great. She came in on Thursday, Saturday night, she goes, it's time. And I'm like, time for what? Like medication? No, it's time. And I'm like, oh fuck, this is real. So I wake up Bingo, like it's going on. We start mixing up White Russians. She decided to make Black Russians White Russians because she thought the milk would coat her belly better for taking all the pills. Like mother till the end. Do you have whole milk? I got skim. Skim will work. I just don't want to throw up the pills. Chicken soup for the suicide. You're so fucking, you're so sweet. So we're whipping up drinks, and I didn't so much assist as bar back it. Like I'm in there mixing drinks because we're all drinking. We watched Bad Santa together, it's our favorite movie together. She had a very dark sense of humor. I didn't come from nowhere. My mother used to review porn on The Man Show. She's fucking dark like us. So we watched Bad Santa, and she's trying to choke down these pills. She had a very hard time taking pills, so she just gagging and just getting them down. So I'm keeping a vague count. When she got around 30, little over, I'm like, Ma, that's good. You don't need to do any more. You're fine. And she said, I don't want to take any chances. She was so scared of fucking up. She took all 90 morphine. No, we're sitting there in horror going, you're wasting. Ma, they said 30 of those would any human being alive. You could leave 60 of them for me and Bingo as our only inheritance, other than the last 17-year-old blind cat you have, Georgia. Yeah, we're gonna have 60 morphines to have spontaneous memorials for Mother every here and again. Remember Mom? Papa Morphine, woo! What a great lady, what a crazy old bitch. No, hoarder till the end, all fucking 90. And then we fucked with her hard. I remember her last words as she's coming in and out, because we're just goofing on her as she's doing this, as she's fading in and out. I didn't even know if she'd respond. She was just hammering cocktails. And she's laying there, half in, half out, with a White Russian on her chest that she'd occasionally get to her mouth and it'd spill. You know when you come off the wagon, you hit it fucking hard. And it's pretty bad when you're trying to keep up drinking with an 83-pound, 63-year-old woman. And I go, wow, you're really knocking those back, Ma. And she goes, there's times to be dainty and there's times to be a pig. And we all laugh. And this is Mother's problem throughout her life. She was a funny lady sporadically, but when she would get a laugh, she would just hammer it and overtag it and repeat the joke. Like, just keep, I can keep getting a laugh off the same joke and it would ruin the joke. And when we all laughed that there's times to be a pig, I saw her go into, and I go, shut your fucking mouth. Those are perfect last words. You're not gonna ruin this joke. Cut the mic on Mother. And then we just roasted her as she fell in and out. We just did a Friars Club roast, making fun of her and making it a fun, dark. Ma, wait, they found a cure. I love you. Fuck you. I was a bad mother. I love you. At one point, I remember I said, Ma, if there's any kind of white light situation, that other side that you get to, if you can communicate with us Houdini style, see if there's any way that you can make the Saints cover 8 points at Oakland tomorrow, because I have money on the game. And they did. The Saints fucking blew them out. October 12, 2008. The Saints won 34-3. I'm not saying that's proof of an afterlife. That was just $40 that I won. Proof of the afterlife is this. If there were no afterlife, how could my mother have bought me and my friends so many nice things from the Sky Mall catalog on her credit card 4 days after she'd passed from this earth? Answer me that, Your Honor. Answer me that. In fact, I'd like to enter these credit card receipts into evidence against the advice of my attorney. Look at that, 4 days. I had to swear on your Bible just to testify in my own defense. Your silly fake Jesus only lasted 3 days before he ran out of that cave like a My mother, 4 days, relaxing up there. She's drunk eBaying like I do. I love, that's why I love like WikiLeaks and Anonymous, because they're actually in there. They're fucking with the system. They're not sitting around chanting, slapping bongos. Bradley Manning didn't get to release all that information by sitting in a drum circle. He had to get inside. That's why you should fucking read up on Scientology, and I'm serious. Scientology is brilliant. If you read this book, Inside Scientology, it's a breakdown of how that evil motherfucker created that religion in a modern time. Every other religion people believe in, you only believe in it because all your ancestry did. This guy had to create this and sell it to adults recently. It's as stupid as any other religion, but how did he do it? How did he create this Leviathan? Read this book, Inside Scientology, and apply those evil tactics to Occupy, and you have a fucking winning recipe. You follow L. Ron Hubbard's intimidation, infiltration, harassment, blackmail, complete abuse of the legal system, where you just turn a crossed-eye stink look at Scientology and they'll sue you into poverty. You use that for good. You know what L. Ron Hubbard didn't have in his master plan for world domination? Drum circle. It doesn't do anything. You're just sitting there. No one wants to hear that. It's annoying as shit. You had enough time in a year to learn how to play real instruments. You could have had a whole New Orleans-style jazz swing band that people want to hear. Boom, 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 boom. But instead, what? I'm not against you. I appreciate the passion. I don't know how anyone who has a cause in life where they put that much time and effort into trying to change something. How do you pick one thing? How do you wake up in the morning and look at the billions of things that suck on this planet? You log into your Yahoo News and it's just countries you didn't even know were countries have problems you didn't even know existed. How do you pick one sliver of that and decide that's the one we have to print up t-shirts and have a car wash? I would be so confused. I want to make change. How do you pick something if it hasn't affected you? Oh, juvenile diabetes? Well, I don't know, but I have lots of free time during the day. I guess I should do. Oh, wait, spina bifida. And the guy's right here, and he's uncomfortable to look at. So maybe I'll go with this guy's cause. And clitoral circumcision in the third world? And that, I know that gives me a handy excuse for not finding it, but that's selfish, and I have to stop thinking about me. Maybe we should, and as soon as you focus on one thing, here comes Sarah McLachlan on the TV with the skinny, sad puppies and the abused in the arms of an angel. I don't know why animals always seem to trump any human cause, but they do, and now you're telling me about fucking corrective rape, which is some weird thing in South Africa, you know? Corrective rape is where they gang rape lesbians to try to cure them, and I'm behind that just to bring attention to it, because the term corrective rape is such a good comedy reference that I demand a bigger laugh when I mention corrective rape. but no one knows about it, so I want to bring attention to your cause. I just don't know how you pick. If I had any cause over the course of my career that I've bitched the most about, it's overpopulation, which is the root of most of the other problems you care about, anti-children. But I don't know where to send a check. I don't know, like, what do you do? The only solution that I've ever come up with, which I think is great, but no one's gotten on board, incentive-based eugenics. Eugenics was a practice of sterilizing people. Hitler got a lot of the credit for it, but it was actually done in this country long before Hitler even knew who he was mad at. We were practicing eugenics in this country. Eugenics was the practice of forced sterilization of undesirables, which sounds bad. And the way they did it was bad, because they would, first of all, the force is wrong. You don't force people to do things they don't want to do. And B, who decides who's undesirable? They were doing it in this country at the turn of the 20th century, which is the 1900s for a lot of my fans, early 1900s, to criminals, perverts, which is way too vague, the mentally ill, mentally retarded, homosexuals, which makes perfect sense. We don't want them breeding. Little queers running all up and down like gremlins. But if you took away the force and you just made it incentive-based for people willing to sterilize themselves, offer up some white trash prizes. You know, NASCAR pit pass, meet your favorite driver. All you gotta do is snip the sack. Really? Year's supply of Sunny Delight. You want some Sunny D, don't you? All you gotta do is putty up that front hole, lady. You still have 2 holes left to trick guys out of drinks at the bar. What do we gotta do? Are you telling me if I cut off my balls, I'm going crossbow hunting with Ted Nugent? Well, shit, yeah. No, sir, wait, no, you don't actually cut off your balls. We just make a small incision with a local anesthetic. Fuck you, I want you to cut off my whole balls. I'm gonna hang them from my rear view mirror like a lucky rabbit's foot. I'm going crossbow hunting with the Nuge. I ain't never won nothing in my life. That's a workable plan. You can't argue with that. It just won't happen. Here's what I think. If you're behind, whatever you're behind, we should triage all charity. So we take the most important and most easily solved first. Everyone works on that, and we'll get to yours eventually. I would start with starving people in a world full of food. That seems easy to solve. You don't need scientists with lab reports and years. No, there's lots of shit, loads of food. There's just a transit problem. Someone from FedEx, get the food there. We live in a place of fucking horse meat is a scandal. They found horse meat. How dare, oh my God, have you heard? There was horse meat in my frozen processed lasagna meal. How dare they put a more lean and nutritional meat, and now we're gonna dump it by the warehouse-fulls in the garbage dumps while people are starving to death on this planet. That makes no sense. I can solve that. Yeah, take that food and feed the people that don't have it. And then we get down to the next most important, and the wrongly accused, and the torture, and the thing, and the disease, and Occupy is lower, and then Save the Manatees even lower than that. And eventually, hopefully, in a perfect world, we get down to the bottom, which is Toys for Tots. How fucking embarrassing is it to live in a country where Toys for Tots is an actual recognized, legitimate charity? God forbid little Daniel go through some bogus holiday made for some fake deity without Lincoln Logs. The horror. The horror. That's why they have to have Marines and bikers enforce that shit like henchmen. Because otherwise you just go, fuck you, toys, they're starving people. And then some big fucking crew cut guy, I fucking fought for your freedom. Give me a goddamn Lego for the kid. It's gonna be tough.